Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain Laurel high fives for miles in spring.
This day is so beautiful, so crisp, so clear, so sunny, and I want to tackle all the garden things while the getting is good. The weather today is so incredibly beautiful. It is like nice and cool first part of the day with absolute promises of getting quite a bit warmer, but at least the humidity is super low, which I can handle. So I'm hitting the ground running, and the first thing I'm working on is getting these pots ready for some zucchini plants. So I am just doing a combination of organic potting soil and compost, giving that a really good mix, and then making sure that these pots are ready to go so I can put my little baby plants in here. My mom is also starting her garden this year. She has gardened before. She's wonderful at it. And this time around, she started some seedlings for me as well, and I am forever grateful. So a couple of the plants that she started are watermelon and zucchini. I have some tomatoes that she grew for me. So that is what I'm working on today. And so that is what these pots are for. I have some trellises, and I am crossing my fingers that these trellises will work for these zucchinis. But look at how cute these little baby guys are. I mean, they're ready to go. So I did not want to wait any longer. I wanted to hurry up and get them in the soil and make sure that they have the room to grow that they need. So I am just prepping this. This is a trick I've seen before. Is this the right way to do it? Honestly, I don't know that there is a wrong way. I am just measuring the hole with the pot that the little zucchini baby is already in, so that I know how deep I need to dig this hole. And then I'm gonna put my little plant in and keep this party going. So these guys are so beautiful, so just, oh my God, they're so cute. And it gave me some pause and concern for the zucchinis that I started in my raised garden bed, the little birdie bed, because now I'm wondering if they have enough room to grow, if they're gonna be competing for the nutrients and all the things. How am I going to do a trellis? But you know what? We will figure it out. Mother Nature is incredibly beautiful and genius, and things grow in better conditions. They grow in worse conditions. So I'm just going to do my very best. I am going to give these guys all the love I possibly can, and we're going to see what we get. So, you know, we'll figure it out as we go. It's going to be okay. But in the meantime, I know these guys are a lot happier in these larger containers versus being in those little baby pots where they started out. So I'm going to move on to the next one and get this guy potted up, and then we're keeping the party going. So my bee and I built the last of our birdie beds. So this is bed number 3, and in about a minute, you'll see bed number 4. So in this one, I'm gonna do the San Marzano tomatoes that my mom grew for me. And while I did start some seedlings for Roma tomatoes and cherry tomatoes, these guys are already big, they're ready to go. They need their permanent home. So I figured that these guys would go in the raised garden bed. I am an enormous fan of San Marzano tomatoes. anytime I am buying a canned tomato product like the whole tomatoes, the peeled tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, whatever it is, I always reach for the organic San Marzanos that don't have anything added except for like maybe water, maybe basil, just incredibly minimal ingredients. So I am excited to grow San Marzanos. I'm so grateful to my mom, so appreciative that she thought of me and took the time to grow these for me. So I am really hoping that they do well, fingers crossed as always, because I am just starting. So right here, I have a little baby on the side and I'm just pulling that guy off. I'll plant him somewhere else or just compost him. No big deal. To make sure these guys have everything they need to grow and to give them the best advantage, I cut off all the leaves towards the bottom so I can put these deep into the soil and give them every opportunity to grow and grab all the nutrients that they need. So you will see it looks like I am planting them really deeply, and in fact I am, and maybe I could have gone even a little deeper with this one because this is the largest one of the crew, but we're okay. It is a-okay. So I'm gonna move on and finish these guys and do the exact same. I'm gonna cut off all the leaves and little stems that are towards the bottom so that I can bury the first at least like 2/3 or so of each plant underground. And this is birdie bed 4 of 4. So in this guy, I am going to do some melons. So this is a tape measure I have. This is a little bit extra, but I want to make sure that I give these guys as much room as they need and as is recommended according to the seed packet. So it says that they should be between 5 and 7 inches apart when you plant the seeds. So I'm doing 6 inches. And in this bed, I'm gonna do some baby watermelon and some cantaloupe. And I am excited, but I am incredibly terrified. Of everything I'm growing, the tomatoes give me a lot of pause because of some past experiences from last year when I attempted it. But more than anything, the melons are really freaking me out. I know that just based on videos I've seen and things I've read, with pests and all the things. So I am really nervous. Mostly I'm nervous about a trellis solution. So something I need to figure out in the coming weeks as these guys start to grow and get larger. And then to make sure that I have a good solution in place for the melons themselves to keep them off the ground, off the soil, because it's very hot and humid where we live here in Florida, and I'm just concerned about making sure that they have enough airflow so everyone has everything they need to be incredibly happy. So yes, my fear with these guys of everything I'm growing, this is the thing I am most nervous about. But look, it's either going to work or it's not. That's it. Like, it can go one of two ways, and absolutely I'm hoping for the best, but we are where we are. So right now I am separating the little plants that my mom grew. So these are the same watermelon. It's the same variety of the seeds that I have. So in this little pot, there are 4 of them. And then there was one in one other little pot. So I have a total of 5 of these little guys. No, 4 or 5. I don't know. So I left little holes for them when I dug the holes for the seeds so that I could put these little guys in there. So I am just so excited. I cannot wait to see this take off. In some of the videos I've seen, these guys are so viney, like they take over. They spread out. So I am really curious to see how this is gonna work. I'm nervous, I'm telling you. I'm nervous and also incredibly excited. So fingers crossed, please pray for our beautiful little garden. In one of the last gardening videos, I talked about repotting the raspberry bushes or trees, repotting the orange tree, and some other things. I also repotted the Meyer lemon bushes slash trees slash whatever they are. And so that's what I want to do today. I want to tackle these raspberry bushes. I don't want them to suffer in any way because I took too long and left them in these little nursery pots and, all the things. So I want to rearrange things in this little area. I'm going to put the raspberries in 5-gallon containers so they have plenty of room to grow. And I also want to seize the opportunity while I'm repotting things, while I am hot and sweaty and doing all the things, and take care of this beautiful orange tree because I am so obsessed with her, and I want to give her everything she absolutely needs. So in one of my first gardening videos, or the very first, I cleaned out these pots. They had lemon trees in them, and the lemon trees expired because they froze when we had the freeze and they never recovered. I was so heartbroken, but it was my own fault. So I went through, I made sure the soil was nice and clean. I cleaned out any rocks and, anything else that was in there. So the soil is good to go. I am just giving it a fluff. I'm adding new soil. I'm adding compost, mixing everything up. And then I'm going to start putting my raspberry trees in here, or raspberry bushes. Are they bushes? It doesn't matter. My raspberry plants, that's what we'll call them. So I'm so excited. I'm so happy to get this done. I'm so happy to know that they have a large, beautiful home where they can spread their beautiful little roots and grow and grab their nourishment and do all the things. It just makes my heart feel so happy to know that I'm doing the best that I can for them and giving them the greatest advantage. I'm sure putting them in the ground would be better, or maybe not. I honestly can't say that definitively. So I'm moving on to the next thing, which is my beautiful orange tree, and she is a Tangelo. And when I tell you of all the things I'm doing today, this is the thing that I am most proud of, because I have been keeping this on my to-do list for like easily a year, easily. And every time I see her, I love her so much. I want to hug her. She makes my heart just soar and vibrate in the most beautiful way. And I also feel like this pang of deep, deep guilt, because I feel like I just neglect her. And even though I water her and give her the things that she needs, I'm also not giving her the things that she needs, and that is more space. So that is what I'm doing today. And I'm so happy. I am so happy to be doing this. I'm so happy to be taking care of her and just know that I'm giving her a home that is larger, that she can grow into. She's going to have fresh fertilizer, all the things. So in the pot, I threw in some new fresh soil, some compost, and some fertilizer for citrus trees. And I gave that a really good mix. Now I'm going to put her in there, and I'm going to position her in a way that where she is like, her strongest branches. Let's say that her strongest branches are facing the south. So that they don't get damaged by the strong sun and the heat. And I mean, this is all south facing, so it is a lot of sunlight. And I want to make sure that as she starts to fill out and grow new branches and leaves and all the things, that the strongest branch is facing the sun. I don't know if this is making sense. It makes sense in my head. I've seen this done on Epic Gardening, and I think I know what I'm doing. But again, like, complete noob here, complete noob. It's gonna be okay though. I know she feels my love. She feels how much I adore her, my level of obsession for her, and we're gonna pull through. She's gonna pull through. I'm gonna pull through. We're all gonna make it. I'm giving her a little kiss here because I love her oh so much, and I think she's ready for me to be out of her face. I really do. So I'm giving her one last pat down, making sure the soil is nice and just compact in there, and she is sturdy and happy and ready to go. And now it's time for cleanup. And I cannot even tell you how exhausted I am at this point. It looks like nothing. It's just a few minutes for you watching, but oh my gosh, the amount of moving around. If you play outside in your garden and do yard things, then the amount of just moving around and carrying and lugging and just, oh my gosh. But it is so nice. It's so much fun. I could not even begin to imagine how much happiness gardening was going to bring me, and being out like amongst these plants and watching them grow and just trying to figure things out. And it is, oh my gosh, my happy place. I don't even know how else to say it. I really don't. And you're going to see later, this is going to look a little bit different because I will shift a few things around, especially the little plants that are in the black pots. But you know, I just changed my mind on that. So now I'm moving on to one of my next chores, and this has been a big one in a way as well. So I have a large pot here where I have a mixture of the organic potting soil. I have some cactus potting soil, perlite, and a little bit of compost. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to repot a few herbs that I bought. These guys are going to be in the house. And that is why I made this specific blend. Like I've said before, I show my love with food. Food is my love language. So if I cook for you, then you know I love you. I am obsessed with you. And I do the same thing with my plants. I overwater. So this mixture has been my saving grace. I have houseplants, and I have some of my houseplants that have been with me for several years now, and they are thriving, and I couldn't be happier. So this is, I think, a big reason why is because I'm not just doing straight soil. The cactus soil really helps to keep the water from being like logged in there and just kind of hanging out forever. The perlite does the same thing, the compost just for feeding. So this mixture has been wonderful, and I'm really excited to do this. So I have some basil, oregano, and sage that I got from Whole Foods. These little guys are organic, and they're going to be in the kitchen or in the dining room inside the house. And then I'm going to take the excess soil mixture that I have here. I'm going to top off all of the house plants, and you won't see me do that here because I didn't want to bore you with that. But that is the part that's been on my to-do list for a while now. So all of my house plants were repotted 2 or so years ago. And so the level of soil has definitely just dwindled down, and they need a little refresh. So instead of repotting them, because they definitely haven't outgrown their pots yet, I decided the best thing to do would be to top them off with some fresh soil and make sure they have all the things that they need. So that is what I did. And it felt so good to do that. The other thing I did is I took the remainder of the soil and I topped off the fig plant in the back, also the strawberries and the bananas. So I will show you that when I am watering everything in just a few minutes. But oh my gosh, it felt so good to do that because all of those plants really needed that top off of the soil mixture. So this day, like it was so super productive. This is just a few minutes for you watching. It's a few minutes for me like piecing it all together, but it was hours. And of course I had to stop and take care of other things, you know, in between. But oh my gosh, I feel incredibly accomplished. I was so productive. I am really happy that we got the last of the beds put together. We got them filled with the soil, and I was able to take care of the plants my mom grew for me and get them in the soil in their permanent home. I have some things to figure out for the future, like the trellises for the other zucchini plants that are in the first garden bed that we put together, and also the trellis solution for the watermelon and the cantaloupe plants. I also need to consider what kind of support system I'm going to have for those San Marzano tomatoes. I have some wooden stakes, some wooden poles that I can use. I know caging is also recommended. You could also do trellises. I mean, there are so many different ways you can go. So time will tell. We will see. I have a little bit of time, fortunately, so I'm going to keep doing my research and just figure out what would work well for these guys and, you know, just go from there. So everyone is getting a nice deep watering. This is probably my favorite part of doing any gardening work, is just at the very end going through and watering everybody. This just makes me so happy. I love to see these guys just drinking up their beautiful water. And oh my gosh. So I know I didn't do a proper walkthrough and show you the progress on everything, on all of the previous plants that we put together, but I promise that I will do that in the next video. Just know that everyone is doing well, everyone is thriving, especially me. I am so ridiculously happy. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. And if you are gardening, I am sending you all the love and all the luck and all the growing energy and beautiful food production energy or flower production energy, whatever it is that you are chasing down, and just wishing you the most beautiful, luscious, vibrant, and energy producing garden that you could possibly put together. It makes me so happy. I don't even know. I say that a lot. I know that I say that a lot, but it really does. It makes me so incredibly happy. I cannot wait to share with you the harvests and show you the things that we have produced together, because you've been along for the ride, and I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited. So I'm sending you so much love. I hope this video made you as happy as it made me. I am excited to shower, kick my feet up, hang out with my bee and my pups, and just enjoy this beautiful weather and all this gorgeous greenery that is just hanging out all around me and sending so much love right back to me.